for the most part.
Alright, so there's 3 of them dropped off. This is a pretty appropriate spot. Maybe I could shuffle them down to the very end a little ways farther, but the food truck is normally parked up here, so this is kind of a natural walk further to the restrooms, and they're out of the way completely. So these 4 units are all clean. They'd be that construction site returns. The guy that I got these from sells them, and these are from the East Coast, I believe. So he bought, like, you know, a tractor trailer full of them, and he's selling like 20 at a time. So these are actually a pretty good buy. They're if anybody shop for them, you know, these are real spendy new, and used are even kind of tough to find sometimes, especially if you're not in like a major area where someone's turning over hundreds of these units every couple of years, like a big construction outfit or something like that. But yeah, anyway, so this is gonna be a huge upgrade for the track, because old blue toilet down there, it works. And you know, for how many people we have on site, the 2 toilets we had last year worked, but I think we're gonna have more people this year, so having 6 available is gonna be a big deal. Anyway, that's pretty much what I got for this part. I'm gonna go drop this one by the ADA one over there and see if I can move the original blue one back to by the garage where it used to be, so we can kind of use that while we're working or whatever, and not occupy the newer, nicer units. So let's go set up this last one. We'll keep working on something else. Alright, so status update at the track. We got our bathroom situation kind of dialed in. We got 10 more blocks dropped off by Arrowhead Concrete. Track truck's running great. And right now, my buddy's trying to scrape off the remnants of the asphalt track here. We're going to see what we can kind of peel up and come up with in kind of short order. We're probably going to end up with some holes, I would guess, but it's going to be...
Coming back, baby.
Drag strips coming back. So my buddy's got his son up there with him doing a little bit of back dragging. Basically what we're trying to do is level it at least, so it's a little bit more less trippy, I guess you could say. And it's kind of working, but the pavement under here is so bad that more likely it's not going to be awesome when it's all said and done, but it's going to be a little bit better. That's kind of the goal. So anyway, whatever we clean up from this is going to end up in a hole over there. It's going to actually fill a hole. So it serves kind of 2 purposes. But today we're also gonna go digging a culvert. So I think we'll set you up on a time lapse here, and my son and I are gonna go grab some PVC sections. Alright, so in the last couple of days, you know, while we were working on other projects, I got all this drug up again and looking really nice and ready to be reestablished and packed in with traffic here. It's important, you know, with any gravel, you know, driveway especially, but I have a gravel parking area that you have to drag it. Basically what that does is it kind of exfoliates it and brings all this gravel back to the top. So as you drive on, it compacts in, but that's neither here nor there right now. Let's go up and show you guys a couple little detail things that were done. We gotta get these toilets serviced yet. I'm pretty much ready for the season, but they're really close right now. So I'll show you the rest of the units, but they're all decaled up, looking official, and got new hand sanitizer dispensers in them. I gotta add toilet paper roll dispensers as well. Tower's all cleaned up, power supply and all that's ready to go, so we're pretty much ready for a race day out here, and we're just under 30 days out from our first one on May 11th. So if you're in the area, Autocross 1.0 is coming up on May 11th. You can come out and participate, spectate, drive, watch, ride, whatever. We're gonna have a food truck as always, but this year we got more restrooms. We're adding more blocks here. Probably later in this video, we're gonna set those for a little bit more improved safety, which is always a top priority. So we'll have a little bit more spectating area available after that. But for now, been using the track truck a little bit. Got our lines touched up for the year, looking official to kind of show where the driving lane is, I guess. The yellow box up here designates our tech area, but anyway, I have to go out on the track and pick up my kid's Mustang. I'll show you guys how this turned out up here at the front of the property. All right, this is the state that this has ended up in for now. We'll see how it holds water, you know, if there's any low spots or whatever, but there's no more tripping hazards, you know, as far as like grown up grassy areas go. And I'm gonna let this dry out really good and then come out here with the blower and clean off all this old asphalt, which is actually where the drag strip existed prior. If you can imagine, it actually ran straight that way, pretty much right where our paved area is right now. But anyway, we got 3 more bathrooms here. Again, huge improvement over last year. So that's about all I've got to show you here. It's not the prettiest, you know, best thing ever, but I would say it's improved. Less grass to mow, and there's going to be more available space for people to park and hang out and whatnot. So we'll go up to the front of the property real quick. I'll show you the culvert situation. So a huge thank you to all the guys that came out and helped today, and then we got a lot of kids and our wives all came out. We all kind of hung out. It's a beautiful day up here. It finally feels like summer. But I'll show you how this kind of ended up. The drive-in is really nice now too. It's been drugged many times. So I'd say it's pretty well improved, but this should dry out pretty quick. It is very soft right now, so it's gonna take some time for this to dry out and let all the moisture kind of leach out of it. I mean, they hammered pretty good going through here, but you can see it's still like pudding right now, so it's to be expected till things dry out some more. But anyway, it's draining. Looks like it's coming out at a snail's pace yet. And at any rate, it's actually gonna finally start draining out here. Before, this was pretty much a lake, and at a certain point in the springtime, this gets to be all the way up to like where it would look like the water gets all the way up to the top of the roadway, and it gets really wet in here. So this will be a big improvement. Very excited about this, and yeah, that is about it. The water's gotta be down like a foot. So I'm gonna touch this up a little bit with the rake, and then we're gonna pack up and head out of here for today. How's that? It's almost perfect. Yeah, it's weird. The measuring device works great. Okay, so I think what we're gonna do, we got 10 blocks, and if you do them 6 feet on center, that'll give you enough gap where a car, you know, won't fit between them, and it's gonna cover the rest of this area pretty well, which is a good thing. And that'll give us exactly 60 feet of blocks, which is actually coincidentally how far this is. So I'm gonna mark these out at 6 feet on center. All right, so basically what we're gonna do here is fill in a little belly that's down real low. pretty much right in here, you can see how muddy it is and how soft it gets. Yeah, so there's probably not quite 40 yards here. It'll be something like 35, I don't know, something like that. But right now road restrictions are on, so you can't actually, gonna get a dump truck out here. So Hayden and JT coordinated and brought a roll-off full of gravel back here and crushed concrete up there for the road. And that's kind of gonna be what the deal is. So we'll see what this looks like when we're all done. Don't know much that grabs. Big eggs, asphalt.
Wow!
That's what messes it up, stuff like that.
Start balling up in it. Yeah. Alright, so this turned out pretty good. Looks like they brought out a really big drag, so that I-beam there flattened out this area really, really well, and I'm really happy with it. So before, right in the middle here is a pretty low spot, so hopefully after we get some rain, we'll be able to check and see that being a little bit more proud here, the water will at least run away from this area where people would generally be walking. But anyway, starting to work on the road back there. Let's go see how that's going. Alright, so basically this is how the crushed concrete came out. This is bigger than class 5, of course. It's something like, you know, 1 inch minus, something like that. But this will be pretty good because we can pack this in a lot better with our trucks while we drive back here and trailers and whatnot, and it's actually going to help improve the road base, and in the future maybe you put something like a gravel on top of this. But even so, I do realize that we should have probably excavated a little bit first, put in something bigger, then this thing gravel. So we're kind of doing it out of order or whatever, but this is actually going to be a big improvement because right here got really wet. It's a little bumpy and off camera, and the fill was gone here pretty much. You know, all the aggregate material is pretty much missing, as you can see out past there. You're pretty much driving on dirt and clay. So we're gonna go set some barriers now. We'll set you up on the camera, set those. That'll be about it for today's video. Alright guys, that's going to about do it for today's video. I did rake this out a little bit more with a kind of makeshift drag, I guess you could say, and try and really even it out and level the flat and low spots. My buddy Andy ended up making one out of a, let's say, a box spring mattress, which, you know, pretty old farmer trick way to do it, but it does work really well. And it actually worked out really good, especially getting the track marks out from the skid steer and just really leveling it out. But what you didn't see in the last couple of segments is that we did put together a little walking bridge for staff. What I do have to do is actually add a little chain to it, much like I have on the entrance to the stairs, to keep people out of here that shouldn't be. We've already got a sign and whatever, but yeah, I got these decking sections from a buddy of mine. I got to replace one plank yet, but at any rate, this actually worked out really good and it was free. So this is all actually built pretty well, and this will give you a high and dry spot to walk where it's usually really mushy down here out into the track as needed. Little gate all leveled out, and yeah, I think next big stuff out here is probably going to be some patchwork. They paved it super thin up here because honestly it's supposed to be like walking traffic up here, and we've been driving on it for a long time with trucks and trailers and cars, and it's, you know, it's just busting it up. So at the end of the day, this is completely expected up here. It seems to be thicker everywhere else, but this top side, especially around where the tower was, where there'd just be pedestrian traffic, they must have saved a couple of bucks and just kind of ran with as cheap as possible. It's nearly paper thin, but anyway, we got our safety improved a little bit on this side, which is good. If you guys have any ideas on what to do with the blocks, maybe we could paint something funny on them. There's 10 of them, so figure that out. We could do maybe something cool on it that drivers will see and spectators over here, and our good folks that help out and run cones from the infield. But I think at this point, we're something like 2.5 or something years into this, and this is a game of inches. This isn't a big change, you know. You won't be seeing big changes in every video, of course, because this is on a super tight budget. And at this point, like, without sponsor support, there's zero chance that this is going to happen, let alone keep improving and developing the property and whatnot and making it a pretty respectable place to come out and autocross for now. That's about all I got for today's video. Appreciate you guys that have stuck around for so long and been watching the snail's pace of progress out here. But we've got 5 shows this season again. Autocross 1, 2, and 3.0. We have the Black River Rally. A friend of mine, Mike Morgan, is running Morgan's Motorplex up here, so they're renting the track for 1 day. And the last one will be Machines and Caffeine, which is always a fun show. Here's a quick look at our latest design. Thank you to Apex Threads or Sam Seifert for designing this. Did a nice job. Of course, we've got our current sponsors at the time of printing on here. There's quite a few more that need to be added in the next print, but we've got hoodies and t-shirts as well available in person. Everything else is available on the website. So if you want something different or a different color or whatnot, definitely check our storefront out online, especially if you're looking at shipping in the United States or across the pond somewhere. If you wanted to, definitely go to our storefront and pick up a t-shirt, a hoodie, cup or koozie, sticker, whatever. It all actually translates into supporting out here, you know, what we're doing. You're not funding my lifestyle or anything like that, but it's gonna sustain what we're doing out here, and it's bringing a lot of joy, hopefully, to a lot of people. But that's about all I got for today's video. Appreciate you guys watching along for so long. I'm gonna get out of here and we'll see you guys in the next one.